Third down and 20.
All right, but enough with Taysom Hill. Let's go from a good offense like the Saints, talking about again a bad offense. I know we talked about him a couple weeks ago, but we're bringing back on the Eagles because the Eagles have officially benched Carson Wentz for Jalen Hurts. Steed, what is your initial reaction to this whole scenario, real quick, before we get into like a little mini analysis?
The benching, I totally agree with it. I think it's the right call. Clearly, Carson Wentz is not going to be able to fix his problems at all this season. You see two teams in front of you now just exceeding, and they're ahead of you now, and there's still time for you to make ground. You're not going to get there with Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts in his little time he played last week, he gives you the best chance to win this season. Now, is he the answer moving forward? I don't know. Like, there's always off seasons long where they can work with Carson Wentz, but I think it's the right call. You got to do it, and it probably helps his his head too, because like he's got to feel like crap. Every week out he just looks terrible, and the offense plays poorly, and everything's just not going the way it should be.
Yeah, I actually, a couple weeks ago, I would have disagreed with you on it, but now I think I would. I went back, I watched some more Eagles tape just to get a clear picture on the whole scenario when I heard that Carson Wentz was getting benched. And I have a few new thoughts that I didn't have from the last analysis. The first is that the Eagles' offense in 2017 was just different from the offense this year. It was much more of a power running scheme back in 2017. It was then the offensive line was just making a whole lot more space. They had LeGarrette Blount and Jay Ajayi as the running backs. Now the running backs are Miles Sanders and Boston Scott, much smaller running backs. They did add Jordan Howard recently, but he hasn't really played. And it's just much more spread out now, the offense. It's a lot more shotgun. It's a lot more multiple receiver sets. And at the end of the day, I think that style of offense just fits Jalen Hurts better. You think about what made Jalen Hurts really good at Oklahoma. I mean, he was running that spread offense. He was clearly better in that spread out offense than he was at Alabama, where they were a little more condensed, just more often. And, the Oklahoma offense was just more passing oriented. The passing game is the extension of the run game a little bit. They're both vertical offenses, but Alabama has much more of a run-centered attack, at least at the time they did, especially with Jalen Hurts and what they would do with his legs running the football. At Oklahoma, they didn't really, they did ask him to run the football, but it wasn't, I think they treated him more as a quarterback than Alabama did. And I think that this style of offense, this spread out, it's the NFL, they're treating him like a quarterback. I just think that this fits Jalen Hurts a little bit. And the other thing to say about Carson Wentz that you brought up on the last analysis, I didn't really go as much into. There was just a whole lot to unpack, but after this Packers game, it's just firmly in my head. His mechanics are terrible. Really, really, really bad, and they have deteriorated from 2017. And it's obvious that they're not working on this in practice. They're not addressing it at all, or maybe Carson Wentz's head has gotten too big and he doesn't care. But I just want you to take a look at Carson Wentz's footwork on the start. He's going to roll out to the right and try to make a throw to this out route over here. And just look at how bad his feet are here. Just look at this. Twinkle toey kind of throw. This, I can guarantee you, this is not how you are taught to throw the football. And this is open. There's a little bit of space here. Yeah, it's not much. But if you could just sit here and actually use your feet to make a throw, there's not a ton of pressure on you, Carson Wentz. Just step up, make the throw. Don't do this. This twinkle toey just
throwing off his back foot.
It's just terrible. But just look at the difference from 2017 with him as a quarterback. Look at his feet. Yeah, they're wide. It's not perfect. Look how comfortable he looks. This is an incompletion here to Jeffrey, but look at this. That is a dime. What happened to this? just bouncing around. He's not afraid to take the hit.
Maybe that's what it
And what
is.
happened to some of this too? Just step up, shoulder dip, bang. Perfect. That is perfect quarterback play right here.
Oh
This is
man.
exactly how you're taught to do it. Drop back, there's a free rusher. Plant your feet, dip your right shoulder, step up, make a throw. Is that not just awesome? Where is that?
Night and
Where does
day.
that man go? Who is this Carson Wentz that is on the Eagles right now? And
Dude,
here's the
this has
last
to be
thing.
a fake Carson Wentz.
Here's the last thing. This is another incompletion, but I really like what the design of this that the Eagles I feel like have just lost. Carson Wentz is going to see its man coverage and he's going to have this little check. Kind of missed it there. You see this little check to Ertz? Okay, check the route. They got a safety on him one-on-one. We know we're going to him in the matchup we like. Yeah, it's an incompletion. But it's just he's so much more confident in the system in the offense. Carson Wentz now he's twinkle toeing. He's like looking left, looking right, hitching here. Like, dude, what happened to this? Just little check. Okay, I got a matchup I like. No hitch. No, not a single little hitch from the ball there. It's just really a shame. And I want to pose the question to you and myself. Who do you blame more for the Eagles' situation right now with Carson Wentz? Carson Wentz or Doug Peterson?
Mm. I can't blame both. I got to pick one.
Got to pick one. I mean, I guess realistically it is on both, but pick one. Who's more to blame? How about that? Who's more to blame?
I'm I'm putting it on the coaching staff. I'm putting it on Peterson, man. I like you said, the offense has dramatically changed. I think they're doing something more to where Wentz is not yet comfortable with. And in a COVID year, like we've been saying, like how much time in the offseason did he really get to have more of this like spread out look and they get away from the power run? And on top of the coaching, like you really haven't done anything for Carson Wentz on the front line. You don't run the ball at all. You're not balanced at all. You spent a second round pick on Miles Sanders, but yet Doug Pearson only runs them 5 times a game. Like, what are you doing here? Receivers are always garbage. So I'm going to put it more on the coaching staff and Peterson there. Even though, like, especially in those videos right there, you see Wentz is having mechanical problems, but are those mechanical problems because of Doug Peterson? Now it's just a muscle memory now, wherever he's under duration or he's been hurt too much, he doesn't want to be hit again, where he's trying to like make these throws to protect himself, or he just doesn't feel comfortable. And it's truly hard for me to believe that like Carson Wentz has been in the league the last 3 years. He's been great in the league, great quarterback. But then all of a sudden he just goes to dog crap once the offense changes. You're not running the ball as much. I don't know what's the outlier there. I'm going to blame Peterson. I think he's at fault.
I'm actually going to disagree there. I'm going to blame Carson Wentz. I do think that the Eagles coaching staff has done a terrible job, first and foremost. I think that you're right. I wish I could blame both because it really feels like we should blame both. And Doug Peterson not having an offensive coordinator is killing this football team because obviously the system that they're running is not fitting the players. But at the end of the day, Carson Wentz just isn't confident. He's got the yips. His feet are not under him on his throws. He's getting twinkle toes. All the progress that he made from college coming out from North Dakota State has been gone. Now, at the same time, the system I don't think fits him, and I think it does fit Jalen Hurts more. And right now, Jalen Hurts gives him a better chance to win the football game.
Yeah,
But
I
am I
agree with
giving
the
up on
call.
Carson Wentz? Not at all. Carson Wentz is still a phenomenal quarterback, in my opinion. I think that you just need to get him a staff that works with him. It's clear that Carson Wentz is not a flawless quarterback. He has a ton of flaws, especially mechanically. And right now, he has a lot of flaws mentally. He is a broken quarterback. But that doesn't mean that you cannot fix his issues and cannot fix his mental state. And that does also not mean that you can't put him in a better position to win. But right now, I think at the end of the day, the blame has to be on Carson Wentz. Doug Peterson's not going out there and making bad throws and bad decisions. I think at first Carson Wentz he tried to put it on himself too much and tried to do too much with the offense. Then the coaching staff started asking him to become and be a player that he isn't. So I truly do believe that it is almost 50-50 the blame. But at the end of the day, if Doug Peterson, the Eagles, had a better quarterback, they would be winning football games and moving the ball more. So I think that you have to blame Carson Wentz, but it is tough.
Do you want me to give you a little Colin Cowherd analogy on Peterson and Carson Wentz on who to blame?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me one. Give me an
All
analogy.
right,
Hit me.
I came up with this at the top of my head. Let's see if it makes any sense. Okay, so Doug Peterson is like the parent. Okay, and this parent, he's like it's not a great parent. He hasn't done much for his kid, and the kid's always getting in trouble. But everybody blames the kid for getting in trouble. But if you look at the parent, it's really the parent's fault for not guiding the kid into a proper aspect in life. So are we truly going to blame Carson Wentz for being bad when we can look at Doug Peterson and say, well, you really haven't done anything for your quarterback?
I like that a lot,
Yeah,
actually.
dude.
I do like that a lot. I thought that was a pretty good one.
I'm coward.
Nice, dude. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I think in that situation that both the parent and the kid have some of the blame. I do agree with that. I think you may have swayed me. I think I'm back on the Peterson's at fault
Go,
train, but
dude. Colin
I
Coward.
don't know.
Flip
I
it.
think that Carson, I don't think I can just sit here and defend Carson Wentz all day when he is not playing well. And it's not that, a lot of these issues he can fix and he's not fixed. So there's only so much I can put on a coach. Let's get into Jalen Hurts a little bit real quick, though, instead of Carson Wentz. Jalen Hurts, obviously, he's much more confident throwing the football. We saw in that like one quarter of gameplay that he played, he was getting rid of the ball without hesitation. Going back to almost that Taysom, he looked like a quarterback that really trusted his arm. Um, I also think that right now his internal clock isn't messed up, so he knows when and when he shouldn't break the pocket and try to look to gain yards with his legs or extend plays. Um, but at the end of the day, do you think that the Eagles have a shot to beat the Saints with Jalen Hurts at quarterback? Or do you even think they have a shot to win a game? Not even beat the Saints, win a
Oh,
game.
I definitely think they have a shot to win the game. They got the Cowboys left on their schedule, so Jalen Hurts can beat the Cowboys.
I think anyone could beat the Cowboys right
Yeah,
now.
so he can win a game. Now, the Saints, that's a tough task, okay? Because, they're going to shut down that non existent run game already. You know, one of the best rush defenses in the league. And Cam Jordan and Hendrickson and all of them are going to be all over Jalen Hurts. But the one thing about Jalen Hurts is the one thing about the Eagles that will keep them in this ball game is their defense. We've seen Taysom Hill, even though he's progressing well, he still only put up 21 points last week against the Falcons defense. This Eagles defense, I still think is a Super Bowl caliber defense. And Taysom Hill's got his money made for him. And Jalen Hurts can move the ball and keep the time of possession in their favor, which I think he'll be able to do much better than Carson Wentz will be able. This is a closer game than a lot of people would really think it'd be. And like you said, I think Jalen Hurts is very confident right now. I think he's confident. He's coming off of his college football campaign where he finished second in the Heisman, came up to be a second round pick where at Bama, no shot he's a second round pick. I think Lincoln Riley does a really good job with his quarterbacks. You see Baker and Kyler having some success this year. And Jalen Hurts, he's had nothing but time on the bench to really look in and get the game plan going. So I think he's confident going into the Saints game. It's no easy task, but I wouldn't be surprised with an upset.
Yeah, before we move on, the one thing I do want to say about Jalen Hurts is that, yeah, he may not have the best arm talent, and while he has good legs and can run, he's definitely not the most mobile quarterback. But the one thing that Jalen Hurts is just really great with is that he has that professional mentality about him. And I truly believe that that's why the Eagles picked him up in the second round, is that they knew that they were getting a model professional from day one. And they knew that they were getting a guy that worked his tail off in that room, in that quarterback room, and for this football team. And I think you
Yeah.
can see that the Eagles team around him, I think that he really has the locker room on his side much more than Carson Wentz does. So while he may not be the most talented quarterback, and he obviously doesn't have the talent that Carson Wentz does, this is a guy that, you know, I just think has the right mentality. And dude, I think that he can really make something happen for the Eagles. I think that he fits the system right now better than Carson Wentz does. I'm not saying that necessarily Carson Wentz's time in Philly is over. It's just he needs a coach that can fix him. Jalen Hurts is one of those guys that I don't think he's ever going to need a coach to fix him. I think that he's the kind of guy that, yeah, he may not have the talent necessarily, but he will always have that professional attitude and atmosphere really helping him out. And I'm excited